Now, I remember the times when I came back from school and the first thing I'd do would be to spin up my PlayStation and I'd hear the nostalgic Sony Entertainment logo pop out. One of the games that I fondly remember was this game called 1945 Strikers, a Japanese game where it was a top-down bullet hell shooter and it was a ton of fun. I spent many hours playing this game. So when I saw something similar pop up in my feed and it was in VR, I knew I had to review it, right? So how about we take a look at 1976 Back to Midway by Ivanovich Games, which was launched sometime in December last year.
1976 is a very simple game. You shoot up the enemies with your warplane, and you collect the coins that they drop. The more enemies you kill, the more coins you can collect. At the end of each level, you can upgrade your planes with the coins you've collected to make your plane more powerful to kill more enemies on each level. Now, your plane starts off with a single forward-firing cannon, and it is during this period where the gameplay feels very slow and boring. But as you collect more and more coins, you can upgrade your planes with V-shaped shooters or side-wing shooters, and even a homing missile, which will chase down your enemies as they fly in. And honestly, aside from when you first equip those new weapons, it feels like the upgrades in this game don't really add much to your plane. It still feels like a pea shooter every time you go up against tankier enemies. Now, the death system in this game is not punishing at all. You can respawn as many times as you like, so long as you have coins. So what that means is you can keep killing enemies to gather coins, and that allows you to keep respawning, so you can just suicide run the whole level. However, there are some missions where they limit the number of times you can die in order to complete them. But that's as difficult as it gets. Now, this game features multiple levels, but they can be broadly categorized into two types. One of them being a general shoot 'em up, destroy all your enemies kind of level, and the other being a I'm gonna dodge all the bullets and try and survive to the end of the level. Now, within every level that you play in this game, you are given missions which you can complete, and this may change the strategy you may want to take when approaching each level. Of course, they're gonna give you some reason to complete these missions. There are checkpoints within the game itself that prevent you from progressing to the next level unless you have completed a set number of missions in the earlier levels. Some of these missions may ask you to collect a certain number of coins or kill a certain number of enemies. And every level has two special missions which can only be done within an immersion zone. Now, speaking of immersion zones, these are basically special regions within each level where they put you in the first person view or third person view, and you can sort of control your plane in 3D. However, your plane is still always moving forward, so technically you can only still move in 2 dimensions. So it is not much of an immersion zone other than the fact that you are sitting in the pilot's cockpit, or you can see your plane from a third person view. Now, every level is kind of formulaic. You have 2 immersion zones, you fight waves of enemies that fly at you, and at the end of each level, you fight a boss. One of the biggest gripe I have about this game is that the bosses are really uninspiring. They are simply different models with different weapons, but they all fly in the same general pattern. Now, in terms of immersion, I think there are several things that this game did really well, and one of which is the very nice cockpit that you get to sit in. You can even control your plane using the virtual joystick that is placed right in front of you. However, the cockpit itself doesn't have a whole lot of interactivity, but it's really nice to look at. Another really nice touch is the fact that the little planes will fly in and out of the screen, giving you a very immersive experience as you play this 2D game. Honestly, this game could have been a complete immersive package if they didn't opt to do each mission briefing with a simple PowerPoint-like monologue and a weird scientist who kept cracking lame jokes. It would have been awesome if they put us in like a briefing room with an actual 3D talking person instead of what we got in this game.
It is known that German air superiority was the key to the Nazis winning the war. The quacks will allow you to travel to very specific moments in the past.
Well, the nice thing here is that the game actually allows you to choose the way you want to play the game, be it by a console controller, a VR controller, or by using the in-game joystick itself. There aren't many other things you can change within this game other than language settings, but I guess one of the nice things is that it allows you to reset your progress at any point of time.
And at the end of the day, we're all here for one question. Is this game worth or not? Honestly, at a $15 price tag, no, not really. Now, the number of hours I got out of this game was about 3.5 for me to complete every single level in this game. You probably would need about double the time if you want to achieve all the stars within the game, meaning completing all the missions. Now, this game kind of fell short of my expectations. This was what I was expecting. However, this was what I got.
Presence incoming. Warning.
Now, I honestly felt that they kind of used VR as a gimmick to wrap over the shallow gameplay that they had within this arcade genre. There's a lot of things that they could have improved or built upon or maybe experimented with if they wanted to come out with something very unique for this genre. But I feel that unfortunately the amount of things that they did have in the game was not enough. Perhaps if you're a really big fan of trying out something arcadey, maybe look out for a sale for this game. It might be worth a single playthrough, but I felt it definitely wasn't as fun as what I remember most other arcade shooters being, especially with the VR being placed on top of it, so it wasn't that much more. Anyways, let me know what you guys think of this review and whether you agree with it or not. We can discuss it down in the comment section below. If you like this video, drop us a like. And if you want to see more VR news, tech stuff, or gaming related things, you can feel free to subscribe to this channel. Anyways, I'd like to see you guys in the next video. See ya!